What's up, bro?
They're all in the store.
They're all over the store?
The guys inside the store and they're threatening the cops went in there right now. Let's get the fuck out the store.
Oh shit. That was coming out of the store said that cops just ran in there and just told everybody to get the hell out. So we have two different police departments here. We got Metropolitan PD, and we also have North Las Vegas PD. Oops, sorry for shaking the camera up, guys. I don't know if he'll focus that well with all the lights. We have Metro here. Metro PD here. People out here walking in the street wondering what's going on. They took the dog out. North Las Vegas PD, along with Metro PD. So I know there's not a lot of action, guys, but we'd like to come out here and keep an eye on our public servants, make sure they're doing their jobs and doing it right, not acting like jerks. We have tactical unit right here. We know how they like to act. Those are the guys you see at the federal courthouse when the Bundys were on trial. I don't know if he's just trying to block my view or what, but that's where all the action is right here. I guess something happened up at this store. And you know, a lot of times these guys, the police like to use this excuse that crime occurred up the street, and they like to pull over people just randomly, even if they don't fit the description. They'll pull over people randomly, especially in this area. So I'm out here keeping an eye on things and making sure they're not pulling over people with red and blue shirts. How y'all doing? I mean, I'm sure some of you out there have experienced that before, walking down the street and you get pulled over because you happen to fit the description of a suspect. Well, when you go do a FOIA request or you dig deeper and you find out, well, you look nothing like the suspect. They're just pulling people random looking for more crimes. The officer's main objectives here are to find, arrest, and convict. They find probable cause, they find the crime, they find the evidence to make an arrest. When they make the arrest, they gather up enough evidence for the courts to land a conviction, to make a conviction. They care about nothing else. It isn't about public safety. What's up, boss? I don't think so. It looks like they have it all blocked off. They got canines out now, so. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't find the fella who's responsible, or the perp responsible for this, and they take this opportunity to shake some of the locals down, some of the people in this community down. Choppers out. Beautiful night out here. How y'all doing? We have tyrant gangs combining forces. Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department right there. City of North Las Vegas. Oh, sorry guys. They got police down there on the road. I think the next street is Las Vegas Boulevard. What's up?
Need something to do? Can you do me a favor though? Just like, you can record whatever, but can you like stand like outside of our perimeter area?
Where's your perimeter?
Like, right here, man. You see us right here? Our cars, that's where we're at right now.
Yeah, I've
you can
seen.
record, man. Just please do us a favor, man. Just scoot over, scoot over.
I mean,
This guy has a gun. He can come running. If he comes running over here.
And I'm responsible for my own safety.
No, you're not responsible for your own safety right now.
But yeah,
okay?
I mean,
Right now
there's
you're in our
people
perimeter.
walking up and down. This is a public.
just do me a favor, sir.
This is a public sidewalk, so I'll go up and down the sidewalk. But
Thank you.
thank you. So we have more sovereign citizens here with Las Vegas Metropolitan Police
Look, sir,
Department.
keep going, okay? I'm busy.
Yeah,
Right,
you look
keep
busy.
going, dude.
You look busy.
Keep going, dude.
So we have more sovereign citizens combining forces with the tyrants of North Las Vegas City. But this is a public access area. It would be roped off. I would suggest they rope it off next time. It's not my first audit. Maybe you should look me up, see what I've done at the North Las Vegas City Hall and at the federal courthouse. So you let that guy in there. What's that? I'm minding my own business. What do you want?
I'm not here to talk to you, man.
Then don't talk to me. You approached me. Is this how they train you guys now?
Huh?
Is this how they train you guys now? To patronize and annoy?
I'm here to talk to you.
To patronize and annoy? Well, you know what? Then don't talk to me. Next time, don't approach me. I'm not going to use intimidation. What's that? Yeah, whatever, huh? Is that a response they taught you at the academy, or did you learn that in middle school? What's your name and badge number, sir? Your name and badge number, sir, since you confronted me, you began to speak to me. What is your name and badge number? All right, so he's not going to give his name and badge number. See, it doesn't feel good when you start getting harassed, huh? When someone starts messing with you. So because I'm standing with a camera recording, he wanted to come and start talking to me. It's public access, bro. He just doesn't know how to do his job. He's just being silly. So you're still not going to give your name and badge number, officer? Is that your patrol car? 10812. 10812. This guy decides to walk up, tell me that I'm in his way, in his perimeter. I then advise them this is a public area. If it is set off, if it is supposed to be a perimeter, they should rope it off. Don't tell me where to stand. I have a right to be here.
They just slow as hell.
Oh yeah.
The motherfucker ran out the back door with their stupid ass. They just slow. They don't got it no more. They need to stop it.
They what now?
They don't got it no more. They need to stop it. These not real officers.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he comes up and tells me, get away, get out of here. And then there's people walking past us, walking by us. And I'm like, well, so what? Just because I'm standing with a camera, I cannot record? So he still refuses to give his name and badge number. You're not going to give your name and badge number, sir? Yeah. He confronts me, tells me to get out of his perimeter. He didn't like my response. So now I'm asking for his name and badge number, and he refuses to give one. It's funny how these cops think that constitutional rights are transferable to government when they're not. He does not have a right to privacy. He does not have the right to be secure in his person while he's conducting his official duties. So this is Las Vegas Metropolitan's finest right here. Some of you on my channel may have remembered when I was in front of the federal courthouse, they arrested me for not giving my date of birth, yet could not articulate probable cause. Here I am, a civilian, exercising constitutionally protected activity, asking a sworn officer, well, I hope he was sworn in, to identify himself, and he doesn't. So they enforce unconstitutional laws and yet force us to obey those unconstitutional laws. I bet this guy doesn't know the case law of Marbury versus Madison. Any law repugnant to the Constitution is null and void. Miller versus U.S., the exercise of a constitutionally protected right cannot be converted into a crime. Some of these officers do not know the laws they enforce. They don't understand. And the general misconception is that a law bearing the color of law is law, but in fact, it is not law. It is an imposter. So here we go. We have people walking in and out of the store. If it was dangerous, they'd be hiding in the hallway, like at Mandalay Bay. So some of you may know on my channel that I do expose not only corruption, but incompetent officers. Hey, you come up on me like that, dude, I'm gonna record you. Go ahead and hide in your vehicle. Got up real close to me. So let me step out of the way here. They're bringing the canine out. The canine may be craving Mexican, so I don't know. I don't want it to bite me. So the unknown officer takes off. Refused to give his badge, his name and badge number after telling me to get out of his perimeter. So the guy was so dangerous. Such a danger. I wonder, did it happen in there? Did everything go down in there? So what was he trying to tell y'all?
Who?
The cop.
Just that he was out when he had a gun.
All right. So instead of protecting and serving, they're here to patronize and annoy. Metro's finest. At it again. Man, they do not like being filmed. something to drink. So man, so what happened earlier?
Some guy I came in and asked to use the bathroom. Like, yeah, he ran to the back and was in there for a little while, and then see all the police, and then I go back there to hand him some tissue because he came out was like that. So I went back to hand him some tissue. He's like, hey, don't tell nobody I'm back here. I'm like, what the fuck? Seen all the police? I'm like, oh hell no, you gotta get the fuck up out of here. We came out here and told them, and then he fucking went out the back door.
Huh? That's nuts, man. Yeah, I was just right here recording, and I mean, if it was that big of a deal, they would have roped it off. But they're trying to tell me get out of here. So I thought, man, well, I mean, was it a robbery? Did somebody get shot?
They were saying he had a gun. I don't know.
Well, they don't like the Second Amendment, so any armed citizen, yeah, of course they fear.
They're armed, but yeah.
Well, they're armed because they believe only they are entitled to that right. They think constitutional rights.
That's the way it goes. First, take your gun.
Yeah, they're trying to, but they can have the ammo first. All right.
Allowed to buy X amount of.
What's that?
Allowed to buy 100 bullets. That's it.
Who's that?
Oh no, I'm just making. You said first the ammo. I go, yep, you only allowed 100 bullets.
Right. They'll start.
1,000, but you only get 100.
Well, I mean, look at the 223 round or the 5.56 that Obama tried to ban. You know, they try to pretty much make our weapons just sticks. Like my rifle without that round would just pretty much be a club. It wouldn't serve any good. So if the people, I mean, if these officers fear an armed population, you got to ask yourself, man. I mean, if they're afraid of us, why? I mean, if they treat us like this while we're armed, imagine how they'll treat us when we're unarmed.
Right.
You know. But all right, man. You have a good night, man. Be safe. All right, guys. Man, that officer, he looked young, looked fairly new, probably new to the force. Probably hurt his feelings, but my rights aren't at the mercy of anyone's feelings. I don't care if they're a civilian or law enforcement. I believe it's our duty to keep an eye on them, to flex our rights, to also remind them that we preserve the spirit of resistance. Now, I don't encourage violence. I'm not saying that I want anarchy. I'm not saying that I want the whole police force to disappear. I believe that if someone does harm to me or tries to do harm, whether it's taking my property by force or assaulting me because they disagree with me, I believe I have the right to aim my weapon at them and defend myself. And now, because I have that right, and we have that right, I believe there should be a police force that is able to do that. That is the only thing that keeps us from being an anarchy. I don't want anarchy. I want a republic to where the government is limited, the people are free. And when we need the police, they should respond to calls. And when they do respond to calls, we should keep an eye on them. That's how you keep transparency. For transparency and accountability, but equal accountability that we are bound by. Don't do harm to anyone else, and you'll be fine. Also, good boy over there alerts his bosses that they're being recorded. Tells them, hey, we got a First Amendment auditor. We got a civilian with a camera. Today, in today's society, in today's world, a civilian with a camera is just as dangerous as a civilian with a firearm. How you doing? Pretty good. Just keeping an eye on things. What's that? Just gathering some content for a story.
We get a lot of good content on this side of town.
Oh yeah. Well, you should have seen earlier. I was over there recording, and a Metro officer approaches me, tries to tell me to get out of the perimeter. There's no rope, so I'm like, where's your perimeter? This is public access. I move a couple feet away from him because I was getting the impression that he wanted to go hands-on, so I told him I have every right to be here. This isn't my first time. This isn't my first rodeo. I then go and ask him for his name and badge number. He refuses to give it. So it kind of seems like today's law enforcement believes that the Bill of Rights is transferable to government agents when it isn't. There's no expectation of privacy for you guys. So I just try to keep you guys in check and to show the rest of the world that it's our duty, our responsibility to not only keep our lawmakers in check, but the people who enforce the laws in check. That's how you have a peaceful society. That's how you have trust between the people and the police. I'm not trying to instigate. That's the last thing I want, because when officers engage in violence, and I've been on the other hand of that, you can end up in some pain. You can end up in jail. You can end up without a job. You can end up without a house. And I've been on that negative end. So I think it's important that we as people demonstrate in a peaceful manner that we preserve the spirit of resistance, but that we are also keeping an eye on you guys. We're always watching, and we're not going to allow any abuse towards our fellow civilians. Did you guys catch the guy? No? You guys had all those dogs. Man. Yeah. What's your name? Suarez? Right on. So that's crazy. I didn't know this was North Las Vegas' jurisdiction too.
We'll see. We have jurisdiction in the state of Nevada. However, our superiors rather us stay in our city, but being part of a specialized unit, sometimes neighboring agencies request your assistance, and we help each other.
Right on. So North Las Vegas, are you speaking in your special department? What are you referring to?
Canine?
Huh?
Canine?
Canine?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Wow. So how often do you guys use your canine dogs in one night? What would you say?
It varies. Sometimes they don't get used at all. Sometimes it's back to back for 10 hours straight.
Oh,
Just
really?
depends on if the city is burning that day or not.
Wow. So all that money goes into a dog and it's barely being used. Do they still train them to sniff out drugs? Are your dogs trained to sniff out drugs or just suspects?
Some dogs are used to sniff out drugs, and the dogs get used. They get used all the time. If we're not on a real live call, we're training them,
Gotcha.
because you've got to prepare for everyday real life scenarios. And it can be something as simple as just article searches, finding stuff out in the open, or finding a missing child, or apprehending somebody.
Right.
It's a less lethal option.
Right. I agree with that. I would rather you guys use pepper spray or a baton or a dog before you guys use a bullet, but it kind of seems like today officers are just real easy and just real eager to use that firearm.
Depends. It varies again, you know. It happens, and I'm not going to speak for everyone. Some are justified, some are not. You can follow the media, you'll see. Just
Right.
following the news. Just the other day, we had an officer, I believe it was from Texas, that got convicted.
Yeah, Oliver, Officer Oliver, he was convicted. He was sentenced to 15 years today. Can you believe that? 15 years for killing a child. Now, if I would have shot
He wasn't
a kid,
child, he was
a 15-year-old kid,
But, you know,
shot in the back of the head. Now,
here's the thing, though, before you go forward, I'm not going to comment on that because I wasn't there, you know. I'm
Right.
going to Monday night quarterback something. And, you know, they found that he was not justified in that. What the officer's rationale that day was, I don't know.
and a jury of his peers saw that it wasn't justified, and he only got 15 years. If I would have shot a canine dog, I would have been in jail for killing a police officer. I would have been probably facing
He
life.
would have been in jail for killing a protected animal. But here's the thing: you say only 15 years. That's a long time.
For a human life?
That's for a human life. It could have, should have. I'm not going to say could have been his life that they should have, could have, may have sentenced him for. However,
Yeah, I believe he should have been dancing on the end of a rope.
think about the person that's going into jail. Whether it's 1 year or 15 years, he's going to prison with people that he's probably put in there himself. So, in a way, it's almost like a death sentence, anyways.
Right. That's horrible. For 15 years for a young man's life,
Yeah, we're good.
it's horrible.
So, thank you for everything today. So I'll see you next week. I'm not here Sunday. I'm here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I forgot Adam's going to SWAT. I was going to have you ride with Adam next week.
Okay.
Just to kind of give you guys a different perspective, two different dogs. So maybe I'll just have you ride with me. You can see what Dum Dum does.
Sounds good.
Be a little bit different.
Yeah.
So cool. Thanks for helping out with the certificate. All right, y'all. Have a good night. Enjoy your video.
Yeah, I sure will. Wow. So that guy feels more. It kind of seems like he's defending the officer, Officer Oliver. I see that's the attitude that these officers have. You don't know. He says you don't know what that officer was going through. He's gonna get to that. You don't know what that officer was going through. That wasn't just no 15-year-old kid. He was a thug, right? You could tell he was gonna get into that part of the conversation. That was a thug. That was no regular 15-year-old. But you know what? That 15-year-old has a right to due process. And today, our officers do not care about due process. Today, the officers want to play judge, jury, and executioner. I mean, I wanted to bring up the incident that happened with that veteran where they sicked the dog on him for not giving his license for I believe it was a license plate issue, and some of you may have seen that, where there was a license plate issue and a veteran refused to comply with their unlawful orders. He had every right not to comply. Maybe the Supreme Court may disagree, but he wasn't breaking any laws. There was no victim in his case. There was no victim in that call, in that incident. So there was a license plate issue. He refused to comply with their commands. A dog was sicked on him. The dog mauled his arm. He was taken into jail. Today, that's excessive. And yes, I would rather them use a dog if somebody was suicidal, had a gun, and was wanting to commit suicide. I'd rather them use a beanbag, shotgun, or a dog. That's just my opinion. Some of you may disagree. But anything less lethal. But today they're not using dogs for those type of scenarios. Today the dogs are being used for, you don't comply, I'm going to punish you. You don't comply, I'm going to send my dog to bite you. And as the dog's mauling your arm, they're yelling out, "Good boy, get that bad guy. Get that bad guy for not giving his date of birth, for not complying with my command to get out the vehicle." But I was just thrown off and blown away by that officer's response to the 15-year-old, to that young kid, that young kid being shot in the back of the head in Texas. That was no ordinary 15-year-old. He was a thug. You don't know what happened. Well, you know what? A jury of his peers didn't see through that BS and convicted him. But because we have cop worshippers and people who are blinded by that shiny badge and that worship that stiff uniform, they gave him a lesser sentence. It's about accountability, guys. Equal accountability. But I'm gonna go ahead and sign off, guys. Just here, cruising the streets of North Las Vegas, bordering with the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. So remember, guys, always watch your back. Do not trust these people. Do not trust these cops. Do not comply with their unlawful orders. And if you can, always record, always document it. Because if you subpoena their body cam footage, they're gonna charge you so much money to where it's pointless to even pay it. So have your own video, have your own recording. So sorry guys, I'll go ahead and cut this video off now. Joshua Martinez here. One City Boys Stand for Freedom. Reminding you that we all do this for our own reasons, but my reason is God, country, and family. Love y'all.